Hello ladies and gentlemen and those in between, welcome back to my channel, Everett here, and today we're counting down my top 10 Filipino BL series of 2020. Happy New Year everyone! I hope you guys celebrated New Year's Eve together with your family and loved ones. And before we get started, I would like to give a shout out real quick to one of my newest subscribers, Ken EXO, who is a huge fan of the K-pop boy band EXO. I hope you're watching this video right now and just continue to learn English and you will eventually see your own improvement. And also to my other loyal commenters and subscribers, Filipino Wife Abroad, Joanne Bastilio, and Bill Roper, of course. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. I hope you guys have a good time right now. Stick around and enjoy this video. Anyway, let's get started. First off, I would like to emphasize that this list is based on all aspects that make a series successful. Cinematography, storyline, video editing, production quality, directing, soundtrack, and of course, the chemistry and the acting skills. And to be honest, I found it a little bit easy to decide which series to put at number 3 down to number 6. However, I really had to carefully compare these other series which I had to put at number 7 down to number 10. And finally, the number 1 and number 2 series are neck and neck with each other. And I'm sure that most of you guys will agree on my list. So without any further ado, let's get the ball rolling. At number 10, My Extraordinary. This series is a great video editing, and the cinematography is more like a typical primetime Philippine soap opera. And my most favorite thing about this series is the original soundtrack. And I think that songs like Bandera, Hindi Ko To Binalak, and Suspended in Mid-Air are 3 of the best songs ever recorded for a BL series. Yayo Aguila, the one who plays Ken's mother, gave a powerful acting performance. And of course, Ken and Shake have this extra special chemistry. Although some BL fans might think that they're not a typical super duper good looking BL couple that we have, but I suppose that both of them are promising actors and they can act. However, my problem with this series is the storyline. There's not much emphasis on the love story of the main characters, and instead I feel that everything was rushed, from getting to know each other to falling in love with each other, and even worse, the 2 main characters die even before the fans take the full pleasure in their chemistry and love story. Anyway, My Extraordinary is a story of 2 college students, Shake and Ken, and how they live in their own world. Ken is a popular and kind-hearted university sophomore who meets Shake, who is a shy freshman and university scholar, through a basketball game brawl. After dealing with their misunderstandings, the 2 young men get close with one another right away. Because their friendship blossoms into an intimate relationship, Sandy, who is Ken's childhood friend, becomes jealous and tells Ken's mother about how close Ken and Shake are, which preempts their romantic love affair. And as a result, Ken gets paranoid about the fact that his mom finds out his sexual orientation, leading him to drive recklessly. My Extraordinary is a tender story about innocence, friendship, the beauty of awakening desire, acceptance, and how time heals all wounds. At number 9, Meet Me Outside. Unquestionably, this series has a satisfying video editing and cinematography. And of course, the 2 lead characters are clearly made for each other. Their chemistry is what makes the whole series worth watching. There is something about the 2 of them that can make you all giddy, like the way they look at each other, even the simple gestures, the way they smile at each other. Can give you butterflies. Although there's nothing extraordinary about their acting skills, still, you can get glued to your computer screen once you start watching it. The 2 lead characters are both charismatic, but my only problem with this series is that every episode is way shorter than expected. What? 6 minutes? 7 minutes? Are you kidding me? Nevertheless, this series has made a great impact on the BL universe. Anyway, Meet Me Outside is a story of 2 young men alone for the holidays for different reasons, drawn to one another on the day before Christmas after a conversation through the Blued app. This is a story of a broken-hearted social media influencer who goes on vacation and accidentally meets someone in the same hotel where he stays. This is one BL series that shows that not everyone active on gay applications look only for sex. Some hope to find true love, even through gay applications where most people don't take love seriously. At number 8. Amory. Amory is still an ongoing BL series. There are a total of 30 episodes for this series, and as of the moment, there have already been 18 episodes released on YouTube. And the 5 lead characters are not really the best looking ones in the BL universe. Well, except for Dre Arias, aka Jimmy, who is honestly my most favorite character in the series. And to my mind, Ivan Sarte, also known as Will, is charming and he oozes massive sex appeal. Irvin Binaventura, who plays the main character Joey, and Jules Indiola, also known as Nuan, give a great acting performance in the series. The storyline is pretty relatable and realistic because the series is actually based on a true story. However, my only problems with this series are, first, the cinematography gives me this indie type of film vibe, and the musical score sometimes doesn't match up with the scenes. The sound quality is a little bit poor, and as episodes roll on, the story kind of drags out. But other than these, Amory is really a good series. Anyway, Amory is a story of an orphan named Joey. He's a typical countryside teenager who goes to the city for college education. At first, he has trouble with his roommate Jimmy because both of them don't get along in so many things. But eventually, everything changes when Joey decides to help Jimmy hide his baby inside her room. While studying, they secretly take care of the baby but also fall secretly in love with each other. However, the big problem is that Joey is in a relationship with Will, who has these jealousy issues. Additionally, Nuan, a close friend of Joey and Will, is madly in love with Joey as well. And to make matters worse, Kenji, who is a teacher in Joey's college, is also in love with Joey. This is a story of one young guy who is torn between 4 lovers. At number 7, Sacristan. Yes, you hear it right, Sacristan. It is the most controversial BL series of 2020 because its director Daryl Yap was accused of exploiting children sexually, romanticizing misconception about rape, and even throwing shades at other Filipino BL series. As a matter of fact, netizens wanted this series to be cancelled because they think that first, this series would be disrespectful to the church, and secondly, this series would go against the lessons of the Catholic Church. Even though Sacristan is not a big production, the video editing is impressive, not to mention the song choices including Tala, which is originally performed by the Philippines pop star royalty, Sarah Geronimo. This series has a heart and soul, it has depth, and the lines can pierce through your heart. The lines are relatable, and the twist of the story is unpredictable. And to be honest, I can't count how many times I cried when I watched this series. But honestly speaking, I'm not 100% satisfied with the chemistry between the 2 main characters, Christian and Zach. I'm not saying that I don't feel any spark between the 2 of them. What I mean is that I love them, but I feel that the way their love story goes from being enemies to friends and to lovers very quickly, and something is off with their acting at certain times. Sacristan is a story of Christian who gives up being an acolyte for the sake of his relationship with Zach, who is an orphan and has an athletic scholarship, which makes him go on studying. Eventually, just like any other relationships that don't survive tests and trials, Christian decides to go back to being an acolyte, but because of the overwhelming love for Christian, Zach decides to follow Christian by becoming an acolyte too in the end. Sacristan is a story of 2 men coming to terms and finding love despite being church servants. And this series shows the struggles of church servants being in love with someone of the same sex, and it also shows that love comes in many forms, in many faces, in whatever situation you're in. At number 6, Voice Lockdown. I really love this series. The storyline of this series is not really anything more special than any other BL series. However, this series has indeed proven that a simple storyline can work magic, and that simplicity is beauty. I really love the chemistry between the 2 main characters, Ki and Chan. In fact, I am proud to say that Ki and Chan make the cutest Filipino BL couple, and the cinematography and the video editing are both excellent. The acting is not bad because in this series, there are not really heavy dramatic scenes, so acting is not really a problem at all. And in my opinion, the most impressive thing about this series is that it highlights healthy practices to protect ourselves during this coronavirus pandemic. Voice Lockdown shows what and what not to do during this pandemic. Anyway, Boys Lockdown is a story about finding love in this chaotic time of coronavirus pandemic. This is a story of two young boys who secretly like one another without them actually knowing it. He has a crush on Chen, and he follows Chen on his social media account, and Chen also has a crush on Ki, who he first sees in a garage sale. While it is certainly not the best time to go out and meet someone to fall in love with, Ki and Chen find each other in the middle of the enhanced community quarantine by chance and connect in ways that surprise the two of them. As they get to know each other despite all of these restrictions, challenges, and even dangers stemming from the pandemic, something very special starts to blossom between the two of them. At number 5, Ben and Jim. I really love Ben and Jim, and whether you guys admit it or not, Jerome Ponce and TJ Marquez are one of the most beautiful BL couples in the Filipino entertainment industry. And I've always been vocal about this. I have a huge crush on TJ Marquez, and the cinematography is superb. Of course, what do you expect? This is produced by Regal Films, which is one of the biggest filmmakers and the oldest surviving movie studio in the Philippines. Of course, the original soundtrack entitled Stars Align sounds so good. I really love it. It's catchy and it can bring your mood up when you listen to the song. And lastly, I just love how TJ Marquez played his character. In fact, I see a completely different TJ in the series because the way he portrays his character as a flamboyant gay guy is so convincing. And of course, Jerome Ponce is so good at acting. It's not just your ordinary BL actor. And in my opinion, he has mastered the art of fan service. Anyway, Ben and Jim is a story of Benjamin, also known as Ben, who is given an ultimatum to become financially self-reliant or else he will move to America to live with his family. And because he doesn't want to move to America, he learns to survive on his own by selling anything online. The roller coaster ride of emotions all start when Ben's old neighbor and childhood friend Jimson, also known as Jim, moves back home and spends the enhanced community quarantine which is imposed by the government due to the coronavirus pandemic. Ben and Jim, the series, follows the story of two people who turn from childhood friends to long-lost best friends to lovers and finally to strangers with memories. At number 4, Hello Stranger. Personally, I think that when it comes down to chemistry, Xavier and Miko of Hello Stranger are the best. Their chemistry is through the roof. It's beautiful beyond description, and in fact, I'm very proud to say that among all of these Filipino BL couples that we have today, Tony and JC make the most beautiful pair in the Philippine BL entertainment industry. They're the BL couple who doesn't need to kiss each other. And even that simple hug tight can pierce through your heart. There's no question about the cinematography, and the production design and the camera work are generally very good. And of course, the original soundtrack sounds so wonderful. However, the storyline is a little bit simple and predictable, and Tony's acting is a little bit underwhelming, although Tony does have moments to shine, especially in the final episode. Anyway, Hello Stranger is a story about two boys who first meet online as strangers who don't seem to like each other very much, but are again brought together by circumstances that change their lives forever. When Miko, a nerdy college student, organizes an online quiz night with his friends, he is surprised when the school's popular basketball player Xavier joins in and insults them. Little does Miko know that this won't be the last time he will be seeing Xavier. They both cross paths for a school project, and despite their differences, the two boys get to form an unlikely bond that goes beyond friendship through their several online interactions, and eventually they fall in love with each other. At number 3, Boyband Love. Okay, this might come as a surprise to you guys because I know that this series doesn't have as many views as other famous BL series, but trust me on this. This series is freaking good. Original soundtrack? Check. Acting? Check. Cinematography? Check. Chemistry? Geez, big check. Storyline? Freaking check. What I love about the two main characters, Aiden and Danny, is the fact that both of them are very comfortable working with each other. Their chemistry gives you this realistic couple vibe, and it feels like watching a real-life couple. Also, the original soundtrack is appealing to the ears. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Their acting is pretty natural, and I must say that both of them can star in a bigger production. And what I love about this series is the storyline. All characters are relevant, and the storyline is completely associated with its title, Boyband Love. Likewise, I love the plot twist. It's heartwarming. And after watching the series, I even told my best friend that I was shocked. I didn't expect this series to be so good, and I was completely in awe. This series is so good. You're gonna watch this series, trust me. Anyway, Boyband Love is the story of a boy band rising to popularity, which is composed of Aiden, Danny, Jamie, and Rico. While they work hard to acquire celebrity, their journey to stardom is not easy because they clash with one another due to personality differences. This BL series tackles issues about the members of the LGBTQ+ community who desire to become famous in the entertainment industry. It is an eye-opener that informs the audience that everyone is equal and has the right to love, dream, and to be treated as human, regardless of one's sexual preferences. At number 2, Gaya sa Pelikula. To be honest, I'm torn between Gaya sa Pelikula and my number 1 BL series of 2020 because, let's face it, Gaya sa Pelikula is not just an ordinary BL series. It's not the same old cliché school theme BL series whose storyline just goes in cycle. This series is a masterpiece. It was artistically done, it's worth binge watching, and certainly it's not a waste of your time. I love how clever the writers are, and everyone else involved in the series is simply amazing. The smallest details and the use of symbolism to further make an impact on the story are completely effective, and the original soundtracks have the sheer influence on the audience. And in fact, the lyrics of these songs are so heart-piercing that they can move the audience because the lyrics can actually sum up what's happening in the entire episode. And I love how every episode ends up with a quote. It's not dull, it's not overdramatic, it's not ridiculous either, and I love how everything is balanced out. Cinematography? Check. Original soundtrack? Check. Acting? Check. Storyline? Check. Chemistry? Check. Perfect! Anyway, Gaya sa Pelikula is the story of a 19-year-old introverted architecture student who is in the middle of an identity crisis. His name is Carl, and unfortunately, he's named after his older brother who dies at a very young age. And it feels like he has to live the life of his dead older brother because that's how his parents see him and treat him. And even worse, his parents put pressure on him to major in architecture for the sake of their dream house. Not to mention the fact that if his older brother were alive, his parents would want him to be an architect. But in truth, Carl deep down wants to make films, and he struggles with going on learning architecture as he is not really happy about it. So, as part of their family tradition, Carl moves into his uncle's condominium unit where he learns to be financially independent. As a result, he decides to take an online writing job to sustain his daily needs. While expecting the first payout for his work, his client suddenly goes missing in action, which makes it difficult for him to pay for his monthly rental fee. However, an opportunity presents itself when his cocky neighbor Vlad has to hide from his family and proposes to share Carl's space for the rest of the semestral break in exchange of paying up his monthly rent. At number 1, dun 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 dun, Gameboys. Did any one of you see it coming? Gameboys on the whole is the best BL series of 2020, although I must say it's neck and neck with Gaya sa Pelikula. Gameboys really changed the game for the BL industry, not just in the Philippines but also in the entire BL universe. Gameboys absolutely surprised us when the people behind the camera dared to throw all of these stereotypes away and show us the true power of gays! Gameboys made history in the BL universe by having the first ever split screen scenes where the two main characters talk camera on camera. These people in charge of everything from the script to the quick switches of the camera angles and shots are truly brilliant. The original soundtrack is fantastic and the storyline is absolutely interesting and exciting, of course. Additionally, the supporting cast, especially Adriana So and Kyle Villino, are awesome. Coco de Santos and Elijah Canlas, also known as Gabriel and Cairo, are phenomenal. They're like the Aldo version of the BL universe. This is more than just a simple BL series, and I can't thank the IdeaFirst company enough for creating this series. Indeed, Gameboys is a game changer, and it's certainly not game over yet for Gameboys because its season 2 is coming up very soon. Anyway, Gameboys is mainly centered around a romantic relationship blossomed during this coronavirus pandemic. It shows the pros and cons of being in a long-distance relationship, the things which partners who are geographically separated from one another have to deal with, and how they are able to overcome them. It is about a teenage streamer, Cairo, who is caught off guard when he receives a video call from a new online rival, Gaya. What's more, he is surprised when this good-looking stranger with six-pack abs ask him out as soon as possible. This is a story of two online gamers who try their utmost to make a romantic relationship work during this coronavirus pandemic community quarantine, where people are basically not allowed that much to go outside the home. So, what do you guys think? Please let me know your top 10 Filipino BL series of 2020 in the comment section below. And let's see whether we have the same taste in BL series. Anyway, I guess that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you like this video, please hit the like button, please subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified when my next video comes out. Peace outie! This is a story of one young guy who is stoned. This is a story. Shh! This is a story of one young guy. This is a story of... Oi!
Quiet, please. No need to shout. No need to yell. No need to have a riot. Shut your eyes. Take a deep breath. Oh, you've gone all quiet.
This is a story of one young guy who's... This is a story of...